Welcome to my humble abode. This is the house that I got. It's just a rental and I overlook Lewistown, and I got this place because my buddy needed a home plan. You guys don't know that whole story. I covered a lot more on my motorcycling channel. If you guys want to check it out, it's down below. By all means, give it a sub. So today what I'm going to talk to you guys about is the gear, the rig that I'm running for Raystown Lake, specifically for Raystown Lake. I say specifically because we have a certain kind of fish we go after, certain depth, certain methods, all the stuff we use at Raystown Lake, and I do charter there, so I needed something that was flexible, a system that I can switch between and still effectively fish our lake using a plethora of different methods. This is a rig that I can change up quickly as the situation needs it, or even whether I go from bait to running lures on a downrigger. I need to change up my setup fast enough so that it's efficient while I'm running a charter. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm running, and if you have nothing else to go off of, this is a good place for you to start, and you can start exercising, you know, the flexibility of all the different type of fishing we do at our favorite place. So follow along, guys, if you haven't done so already, and let's get started. First things first, I'm going to run my backing line, which is 50-pound braid. I'm going to run this down the eyelets of the fishing rod and get it tied. I'm going to show you guys the knot that I use to actually tie it to the reel, so you guys have something that you can use. There's a lot of different knots that you can use to attach the line to the spool inside your reel. I'm using what's called an Alberta knot. I'm using that one because it's simple, and this old boy likes simple. So just start off with your tag end and make an overhand knot. Overhand knot is, hopefully you guys know what that is, but just make an overhand knot, and then you want to kind of cinch it close to the tag end, so kind of favor that end of it. So something like that, just cinch it tight, get a little knot there. Alright, here's where it gets difficult. I want you to take your finger and just wrap it around your finger, kind of like this, right? And you end up with this little curly Q kind of thing going on. And then just corkscrew it right around your spool till it comes out the other side. So you have your two ends going around the spool here. Take your tag end and wrap it around the other one. So you end up with this. Drop it, take your tag end with the knot, and all you're going to do is tie an additional overhand knot and cinch it down. Just like that. You don't have to make it real tight or anything, just cinch it down. Well, what happens now is whenever you pull this is a constricting knot, so as you pull it, your overhand knot is going to cinch in all the way in to your spool. And then it's going to pull tight down to your knot that you set. That's complete. It's against your spool, nice and tight, and you're ready to start reeling. This is probably the most intuitively applicable knot as far as putting it onto the reel, because it's two overhand knots. So even I can remember that. You guys just rewatch it. It's real simple, and let's keep rolling here. Just going to reel in a whole bunch of line now. So I started this reel at 1,000, so it'll read 300 whenever I have 700 feet on the line. So it's just crank, crank, crank for a few minutes here until I get the 300 on the line reader, my line counter. And I'm using the Okuma cold water reel, and you can, if you're not familiar with it, I have it linked down below. I am an affiliate with Amazon, so if you guys use that link and then purchase something through Amazon, I'll actually get a small amount kickback from Amazon. It's at no cost to you. It's just a way you can support the channel. So if you guys shop Amazon at all, click one of my links first and then go shop Amazon, and they can recognize that you came from one of my links. So that's a simple way you can support what I'm doing here without spending any money. It's a no cost way to you, and it helps me out, so thank you for that. So there we are, it's reading 300 feet, and so that means that I have 700 feet of line on that reel. I'm gonna put a 100-foot leader of fluorocarbon on it now. So that's 300 feet of backing. That's braid, 50 pound, and I'm gonna put my leader on next. The knot I'm gonna use to connect my leader to the main line is a double uni knot. And if you're not familiar with that, that one's one for study. I'll show you how I do it, but you're gonna have to study that one a little bit. That's an important knot to know. I use it all the time for a ton of reasons. You should know the uni knot, and I'm doing the double uni knot. So I'll show you what it looks like, but then spend a little bit of time researching it so that you can do it on the fly while you're fishing. It's a very useful knot. Here we go. Lay them over. And say I'm gonna do my braid first. The point here is to get a knot that you feel confident in. Confident, because you do not want to lose a fish because of a bad knot. So take your time, learn how to tie these knots. They are critical to putting fish in the boat. Absolutely critical. Do not skip this step. Do spend a little time studying these knots. All right, I'm gonna bring in 100 feet of fluoro, and that will be my leader. So there I am. I got the fluoro onto the spool, and I'm gonna reset my line counter. I want a true 100 feet. So I just want it to read 900, and that means I have 100 feet of fluoro on this rod. So there we go. So that's 900. I got 100 feet of fluoro on the spool over top my backing of 50 pounds. So this is 17 pound fluoro on top of 50 pound braid. Got 100 foot leader. You could vary the length of this leader to your personal preference, but start here and then adjust to what you guys are doing. This lets me put out 100 feet behind a board on the downrigger, or I can vertically jig down to 100 feet and know right where I'm at. When that knot slips out, I know I have 100 feet out. If it's less than that, I know again how deep we are. And so it helps you to estimate your depth while you're in the act of doing it without having to see your lure, or without a line counter. You can still be effective. And all I do from here is I put a swivel on, and you can put on a swivel or a snap swivel. You can tie a hook on, whatever you want to do, but I prefer no hooks on my, let's say, a raw rig. So I like to put a snap swivel on that I can just clip on the hook keeper, and there's no weight, there's no nothing. So whenever I'm actually deciding how I'm going to fish, I will rig it the morning of my charter, or the morning that I'm going out and such, or the night before, or something like that. Those 3 knots get me through a lot of fishing. So if you need to know what the 3 top knots are, as far as I'm recommending, it's those 3. So check them out. I think they'll help you out an awful lot. And then all I do is I bring this down, put it on the keeper, and it's ready to go. These are Striper Stealth rods. That's what I use. It's a multi-purpose rod, everything from live bait to downrigger to planer boards. It's just a very good universal rod, and I'm working with those guys to try and get you a discount as well, but I'll leave the link down below. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks, guys. Much love, much respect.